All right, let's get started. All right, shalom, y'all. Welcome to the Forefront Radio. Welcome to the Forefront Radio. I'm your host, Afia Levi. We hope that this live discussion can be rewarding for you all. We're going to get into Lebanon in prophecy and technology. Today's discussion is Lebanon in prophecy and technology. But before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about the Forefront Radio. The Forefront Radio is a diaspora news channel, commentary, and biblical-based commentary channel dedicated to the diaspora. We teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you are the lost tribes of the chosen people of God in the Bible, and we prove it with history, we prove it with archaeology, we prove it with science, and we prove it with the Bible. So occasionally we have various discussions on current events, and today is going to be one of those days. We're going to get into history, we're going to get into prophecy, and we're going to touch on several parallels that is going to leave you amazed. Make sure you have a pen, make sure you have a paper, make sure you have an apocrypha. Due to the sensitive nature of the topic, we are requesting moderators to please be sure to moderate this discussion, because you're going to get a lot of people that are going to be in their emotions. So make sure, please, that you understand the vital importance of moderating this chat. Shalom to you. Hope you're doing well. Share the room with at least 10 people, y'all. We're going to get into a lot of great stuff. I'll put a one in the chat if the audio is clear, so I know that everything is working properly and we don't have any audio issues. If you're hearing any audio issues, please place a 2 in the chat so that way I'm aware. This replay of this episode hopefully will be available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, which is the Forefront Radio 2.0. The Forefront Radio is available also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and many other platforms. And kudos, we just got on Pandora recently, so I had a subscriber actually hit me up and verify that we are on Pandora. So I'm eternally grateful for that. Shalom to you. Hope you're doing well. All right, so the audio is clear. So I'm really happy to see that the audio is clear. Just waiting for a few more people to join in our discussion. It looks like the chat is being censored once again, because it's only 13 people in the room, and usually when we start a live stream, it's usually over 100 by this time. So we're gonna get into some prophecy, y'all. I'm gonna wait till the room gets to at least 20 people, and then we'll start the discussion. Y'all make sure y'all share the room with at least 10 people, y'all. Blessings to you as well. Blessings to you as well. Blessings to you all. So, y'all, this is amazing times that we're living in, when we can see prophecies and current events tie hand in hand with each other. It's an amazing time, y'all. And we're going to go over some Wikipedia articles. We're going to go over some history. How many of y'all are familiar with the beeper and pager and cell phone situation in Lebanon? Doll63, you're going to lose some of your subscription benefits soon, so make sure you subscribe. And Doll, make sure you send me a private message, so that way I can send you a request for the Discord, so you can join our Discord channel. I believe you're a subscriber on here, so please feel free to message me, and I will send you a link to our Discord channel. If I haven't done so, I apologize. Most of our subscribers are added to our Discord, so Doll68, please make sure you message me, so that way I can send you the link to the Discord channel, okay? Our subscribers have access to our Discord. Our Discord does contain a lot of great information. The purpose of the Discord is for us to have private discussions without the necessities of external influence, such as the censorship that goes on. So feel free to subscribe. Your assistance helps us to make documentaries. We just made a short film called Kamau, Journey in the Desert of Echoes. It's a wonderful short film about the prophecies related to the Afro-Hebraic community. A man by the name of Kamal is traveling to the desert in order to find a heroic sword to fight the new world order that is trying to exploit the world's resources. So it's an excellent short film that I made using AI actually. So it's gonna get approved hopefully on Amazon shortly. So I just submitted it to Amazon Video. I'm hoping for Amazon to approve it. Once it gets approved, you'll be able to see the full film. I do have snippets on it on this particular channel. So scroll through my videos here on this TikTok page, the Forefront Media, and you'll be able to find that short film. Okay, so before it airs on Amazon, be the first to watch it here on TikTok, because once it gets approved on Amazon, I'm deleting it off of TikTok. Okay, so make sure you watch it if you haven't had a chance to watch it. And then once it gains popularity, I'll put in a part 2 that I'm already working on, and it'll make the short film almost 30 minutes long or so. All right, so let's get into the topic today, y'all. It's Lebanon in prophecy and technology, Lebanon destruction in the Bible, as well as in current events. The first thing we're going to touch on, folks, is the history involving the beeper incident that happened just last month, 2024, on September. This is all the information we're presented is for educational purposes only, okay? We're going to see a lot of exciting parallels. We're going to see a lot of information that relates to the Bible. So make sure you take notes. Make sure you take notes. All right, watch this. It says on the 17th and 18th of September 2024, thousands of handheld pagers, and hundreds of walkie-talkies intended for use in Lebanon exploded. So now we're going to use code words because, it's sensitive information. So for those groups that are Arab descent, we're going to call them Hezbi, okay? For those dudes in the land of Israel, those Israelis, we're going to call them the small hats. Or you'll hear us refer to them as SOS, which is Church of Shaitan, or Synagogue of Shaitan. I got to use code words. Or Revelation 3 and 9 folk, or Revelation 2 and 9 folk. Okay, so you'll see me use code words for the blue and white flag, small hats. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Due to the sensitive nature of this topic, I have to use code words due to, the bureaus that monitor what you say on social media. All right, so Hezbi pew-pewed or exploded simultaneously across Lebanon and Syria in the small hat attack. The attack unalived at least 42 people, including at least 12 civilians, and wounded more than 3,000 people. So now I need you to understand the significance of this. Just like we in the United States had our situation that happened in September of 2001, right? 9/11 situation, right? Where 3,000 people were impacted and it devastated the nation. So now for those living in Lebanon with more than 3,000 impacted, this would be their equivalency to that. Okay. So just to kind of give you a thought process of the magnitude of this scenario and situation. Let's read on. The information we're presenting also is available on Wikipedia, folks. It says the incident was described as Hezbi's biggest security breach since the start of the small hat / Hezbi conflict in October of 2023. The first wave of pow targeted pagers and occurred on the 17th of September around 15:30 Eastern Standard Time, unaliving 12 people, including 2 Hezbi members and 2 children. So wait a minute, y'all. 2 children were impacted by this incident. 2 children. These are kids. Okay? So now, as well as several locations in Syria. So not only Lebanon was impacted, but also Syria was impacted. There were chaotic scenes at the 150 hospitals across Lebanon that received the victims of the Pow Pow. All right, so that's just that on that article right there. So now, can we touch briefly on these devices and show you proof that these same devices are going to show up on our doorsteps in Western civilization? Y'all, we got to understand, they're doing Call of Duty video game type of stuff here. The small hat folks use those devices to infiltrate another country, and we're going to prove right now that these technologies always had a hand in hand with the small hat folks, okay? Those folks with the blue and white flag, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 2. And moderators or followers on this channel, please feel free to place the scriptures on this chat so other people can see it as well. Okay? Please do me a huge favor, moderators. Please place the scriptures in the chat. All right? Shalom to you all. Hope you're doing well. All right? We're going to go to Psalms chapter 10, verse 2. We're going to go to Psalms chapter 10, verse 2. All right, listen close. It says, the wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Wait a minute. So the Bible is telling us that those that are in positions of power, that the Bible calls the wicked, in their pride, they persecute the innocent and the poor. How do they do it? By wicked devices. So now, was the pager a device used in this situation? Yes, it was. Were cell phones utilized in this situation? Yes, it was. Okay. All right, watch this. Let's continue in the article. Quote, in February 2024, Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan instructed the group's members to use pagers instead of cell phones, claiming that the small hat folks had infiltrated their cell phone network. Hezbollah then purchased Gold Apollo AR-924 pagers about 5 months before the boom. The small hat folks, with their intelligence agency, had secretly manufactured the devices into, you heard what we just said? They secretly manufactured the devices, integrated the Pow Pow, PETN, into the devices and sold them to Hezbollah through a shell company. So wait a minute. How is it in 2024 this was going on, and the situation that happened in 2023 occurred? How many pagers was being distributed where to the point where over 3,000 people were impacted, y'all? That's very odd and very quick for 3,000 people to be impacted by these devices. That means, y'all, you're being shut off. Wow, is the live going in and out, y'all? Is the live going in and out? Wow. Okay. Y'all tap the screen, get the likes up, please. Hopefully the internet issue gets resolved. I'm sorry that's going on right now. Having some technical difficulties. So the audio is going in and out, huh? Wow. So I told you, due to the sensitive nature of this topic, you're gonna have censorship going on. Okay, it's cool now. Good, good. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. All right. Do me a favor, y'all. Share the room with at least 10 people. Make sure that others are able to hear this information because we're going over a lot of great things. So let's read what we read again. It says, the Small Hat Intelligence Agency had secretly manufactured the devices and integrated the pow-pow that impacted the Hesby through a shell company. International officials and scholars of the law of war have debated the legality of the attacks. Meaning what? They did something illegal, y'all. So now, does this match what we just read in the Bible? Let's read the Bible again. Psalm chapter 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. So now we know, according to the Bible, that the wicked, according to the book of Malachi, is the children of Esau, Edom, who are the Romans, the Amalekites, the Macedonians, the Greeks, and the descendants that call themselves what? The small hat folks, right? With the blue and white flag. We know that they are direct descendants of Idumeans, Edomites, all right? So now, the Bible has to say this about Esau, Edom. Let's go to the book of Malachi. The book of Malachi, chapter 1. Let's start at verse 1. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, meaning you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. God said, I love you. And yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? God answers this, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. Wait a minute. God says he does not like Esau. Yes, many of them took the name Ashkenaz from the actual Germanic people because they steal names, just like they stole our name and called themselves the chosen. They stole Ashkenaz name from Japhet, okay? But they are the descendants of Edomites. You can look it up, all right? A lot of them are the descendants of Esau, Edom. For example, there was a guy named Haman. Haman in the Bible was known as an Agagite. He was also known as a Macedonian. He was the one that was trying to unalive Esther and Mordecai and bring in the Persian Empire over to the Macedonian Greeks. All right. They always take from others. Correct. They are the name stealers. All right. Let's continue. It says, so the international officials and scholars, right, said that there was no legality of the situation, and critics are suggesting that they might constitute as crimes against humans and acts of the T word. Y'all know that T word. The T with the ism at the end? Yeah, that word. Okay. So responding to the situation, Nasrallah described the pow-pow as a major blow and labeled them an act of war. Possibly a declaration of that by the small hat folks. Okay. So of course it would be. Of course it would be. Of course, that would be a declaration if they're doing Call of Duty type electronic warfare against men, women, and children. Y'all understand that? So the devices that we're reading in the Bible is true. Now let's jump down. This is found on Wikipedia. The use of pagers. While popular in the late 20th century, pagers have since largely been replaced by cell phones, except in hospitals. Some Hesby members had used pagers before the October 7th situation, but more members began using them after February 2024, when Hesby, Secretary General, called on members to stop using smartphones, citing the small hats' capability to infiltrate them. Now, Reuters was told that the pow-pow situation were not detected despite checks, and the pagers were still being distributed immediately before the situation. In 2015, the Small Hat Secret Service Group began planting booby-trapped walkie-talkies in Lebanon, y'all, since 2015, y'all. You understand? Since 2015, y'all. So we're in 2024. That means they've been planning this evil in advance with their secret, wicked devices. Let's continue what we read in Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the border of wickedness, the border. So when you look at the Idumeans, they are called, according to the Bible, the border of wickedness. And the people, notice it's not an individual, and the people whom the Lord has indignation forever. So now what you're going to find out, folks, when we investigate the pager, guess who was the first folk to manufacture the pager? You're going to stay tuned to the Forefront Radio to find out. All right, because we're going to go over it. So the same devices could end up on the doorsteps of Western civilization. It can end up in the UK. It can end up, you see, when modern technology occurs and a precedent is made, these situations can escalate. Okay, when you see them try to use video game type of strategies to impact civilians, y'all, we got to pay attention to it. So the devices that they use, modern society has now set a precedent to use modern technology as a military asset towards the general public. Lebanon has citizens in the US, remember that. Lebanon has citizens in the UK, remember that. Okay, let's go to Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Let's go to Psalms. So we try to make sure we parallel the Bible with these prophecies. Let's go to Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. If y'all would, please place these scriptures in the chat for me. Okay. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. Y'all, if you're having any issues with the live stream, please exit out of the live and come back. Okay, if you're having any issues with the live stream where the audio is going in and out, please feel free to exit the live and come back, okay? Thank you so much for putting it in the chat for me, Sapphire. I appreciate it sincerely. Okay, Sapphire, since you did me that favor, I'm going to make you a moderator as well. So anybody that comes on and speaks inappropriately, you're able to click on their account and you're able to block them or mute them. Okay, for the time being, if they are disruptive, just mute them. If they're talking crazy, I can give you authorization to block them as well. But for now, just mute. Okay, anybody that you see saying inappropriate, this is also for Brother Yaabe, Sister Yolinda. Y'all are also moderators. So make sure you jot this down. Okay. All right. Make sure y'all pay attention to the chat. All right. So rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself, meaning don't worry, don't stress yourself out because of him who prospers in his way. Because when you look at America, they're prospering. When you look at the small hat folks, they're prospering. When you look at the people in the UK, they're prospering. But regular average Joe citizens, we're struggling just to get by. Many of us are going paycheck to paycheck while these nation states are racking in billions of dollars over conflict. So God says, because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. That's going into these explosive laden pagers and cell phones that we're reading about here, y'all. Okay? So let's go to the Wikipedia article about the explosions. The first wave. All this information is for educational purposes only, okay? It says, on September the 17th, 2024, many pagers across Lebanon and Syria unexpectedly pow-powed, went boom in an apparently coordinated situation against the people. Many of them are seriously injured, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. The vast majority of those who came to emergency rooms were in civilian clothing. Okay? So this includes facial and eye injuries were the most common effect of the explosions, and according to Tracy Showman, the pagers emitted a sound to encourage the users to pick the devices up and lift them to their heads. Y'all, think how evil and wicked that is. For them to make the thing beep, where you pick it up, look at it to your face, and all of a sudden, boom. Now I'm thinking in my mind, yo, what if I was with my kids? What if I'm with my family? What if I'm going out to eat? What if I'm driving my car and I have it on the dash? Think about all this stuff. This is their version of a September situation of the 9/11 in 2001. Y'all understand? That's their version of it, because over 3,000 people were impacted. America assisted the small hat folks. The UK assisted the small hat folks in this scenario. So the boom situation included Beirut, southern Lebanon, and the Bekaa Valley near the Syrian border, where the boom situation was reported in towns of Aali and Nari and Riyak. In Syria, the boom situation of the pagers were also reported in Damascus and its vicinity. Blasts reported continued for over 30 minutes after the initial situations, intensifying the resulting chaotic event. Wow. There was a second wave, y'all. Now, around 150 hospitals received the victims of this scenario. So now imagine you got 150 hospitals trying to accommodate over 3,000 patients being flooded in at once. Think about that. Think about this type of scenario, y'all. And this just happened last month. So then a second wave now happened around the 18th, 24 hours after the initial situation. So this was like an earthquake hitting, and then, right, a good comment. They planned it. It was not an accident. Correct. Excellent comment. It was planned, not an accident, because there was a second. You see? If it was a one-time thing, then you would say, okay, maybe you could speculate and say, maybe it was an accident, maybe some sort of EMP wave happened or something like that. But in this scenario, it happened again. So that imagine an earthquake and then a shock wave afterwards. So the second time happened 24 hours after the initial. The second wave of the boom occurred, and it targeted handheld radios. Wait a minute. So not only was it happening with pagers, it was happening with handheld radios. Walkie-talkies, y'all. Walkie-talkies. You're going to find out when we continue on who invented these walkie-talkies, where did it come from, and the demographic of the inventors. We're going to cover that in this live. So make sure you share the room with at least 10 people. Correct. He said, nah, that's straight up warfare. You right. You're exactly right. They doing some Call of Duty type of modern warfare type of video game type of stuff, y'all. This is crazy times we're living in, y'all. The boom situation was reported in Beirut, Bekaa, southern Lebanon, and the boom situation caused fires to at least 2 homes. Others occurred at a funeral held in Beirut for 3 alleged Hezbollah members and a child who had been unalived by the initial deletions. The Lebanese civil defense said it responded to fires in at least 71 homes and shops. So not only was funeral homes impacted, not only was hospital impacted, 71 homes and store shops, including a lithium battery store in Majdal Selm, as well as 15 cars and numerous motorcycles. These fires were triggered by explosions in various locations across the Nabatea Governorate. So now the impact. 42 people were impacted, okay, and unalive, 12 civilians. More than 3,500 people were injured. Yep, they spread it out, correct. They spread it out, okay, including a 9-year-old girl and an 11-year-old boy. Now, I have a boy right now that's 8 years old. So I can imagine in my mind, oh my God, if this happened to my kid, how would I feel about this? I'm getting mad just reading this, y'all. This should not happen to innocent civilians in any type of society. I don't care how much people are at war. They should only address military installations and not innocent men, women, and children. This is a new level of diabolical stuff, y'all. That's why God calls it wicked devices in the Bible. We just read it. Let's read on. It says, more than 2,750 people were wounded in the second wave. Wow. Wait a minute. So 3,500 and 2,700. Y'all. Wow. That's almost, oh my goodness. That's almost 7,000 people. They teach life is cheap. Right. They act like life isn't important. Okay. It's very important to understand these things. Life is important, y'all. We got to protect our loved ones. One eye doctor at Mount Lebanon Hospital, University Hospital, reported that a number of those injured showed signs of something being powed directly in their face, with some losing one or both of their eyes, while others had shrapnel in their brains. Wow, sheesh. The Lebanese Health Ministry reported 300 people had lost both their eyes, 500 people had lost one eye as a result of the pager incident. Other doctors saw severe hand, waist, and facial injuries, reporting patients with torn fingers, hands had to be amputated, eyes popped out of the socket, and facial lacerations. This is crazy, y'all. Impact. Lebanon. The scale of this situation was greater than the 2020 Beirut situation, which was one of the largest artificial non-nuke situations ever. The head of Lebanon's Disaster Response Committee also compared the pager situation to the Beirut pow in terms of sudden influx of injured folks and the strain imposed on the emergency response system. Do me a favor, y'all, tap the screen, get the likes up, share the room with at least 10 people. Wiz said, it's just evolution to them. That's how they justify their nonsense. Straight wickedness. Insightful statement. Very insightful statement. Very excellent statement. All right. So within days, the Carmanians, according to Bible prophecy, these are the folks that live in Persia. Okay. Carman, Iran, like I ran to the store, those guys. It says, suspected use of these types of communication devices undertook an inspection of all devices. About a month later, the Carmanian organization, civil administration organization, issued a ban on all electronic communication devices, with the exception of mobile phones. on all commercial passenger flights. Responsibility. Shortly after the responsibility, the Hesby folks issued a statement placing the blame for the attack on the Small Hat folks. The Small Hat folks responded and did not immediately comment on the attack. At least two United States officials and a senior diplomat in the so-called Middle East told NBC reporters that the Small Hat blue and white flag was behind the attack on 18th of September. That's correct. Sapphire said, devastation with human loss. Yep, it's a very sad situation. My thoughts and prayers are for the Afro diaspora that's in that region. Shalom to you, Hosea. I hope you're doing well. So the Small Hat folks and their, folks initially declined to comment. So they was on a hush-hush first. But when they were approached by the Associated Press, but then some guy named Halevi, held a meeting with the generals of these folks to discuss the, quote, preparation for defense and offensive operations on all fronts. So in a statement the next day, Halevi, and this pissed me off how they got our name, y'all. Cry aloud, spare none. That's exactly right. It irritates how they use my forefather's name, the tribe of Levi, to the core. Quote, we have many capabilities that we have not yet activated. Y'all, do you hear what that means? It says, we have seen some of these things. It seems to me that we are all well prepared and we are preparing these plans going forward. Yeah, they're responsible. Shalom to you. Hope you're doing well. That's exactly what it is. They're responsible. Now, according to international law, Joseph Borrell, the European Union's High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policies, questioned the legality of these situations due to their high collateral, excessive impact on civilians, including the deletion of children. A United Nations Special Coordinator for Lebanon, known by Janine Hennis Plashart, also raised concerns over the situation's legality. Even Belgium's Deputy Prime Minister, Petra de Sutter, went further, calling it a terror situation. Wow. They will get bolder with this situation. Good comment. I didn't know that they were involved. Wild. Yep, the Small Hat folks. That's why the Bible calls them SOS. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, folks. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, folks. Those that say they are Hebrews and are not. Thank you for contributing to the live goal, y'all. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you that subscribe and send gifts. All your efforts help us to teach the truth here in Africa. All right, so tap the screen, get the likes up, share the room, send your gifts, support independent media, y'all. For real, though, y'all must not understand how many times they try to shut us down. Donate to the Forefront Radio, y'all, so we can set up independent platforms on Rumble and on other sites like Patreon where we can't get deleted just because somebody's make a phone call. You see what I'm saying? Donate to our Cash App, $APHIELLEVI, or send a gift. There's nothing wrong with that, y'all. Support independent media that supports our people from an Afro-Hebraic perspective. Wizrael said, that's who they are trying to get us back. Exactly. Good statement. Exactly. So, y'all, you got Belgium who had that wicked Belgium man that was ruling over the Congo. And they did a lot of bad stuff. Even they're calling it bad. And they're saying, well, we need an investigation. You got the European Union, who's well known for doing bad stuff. We got the United Nations, who went into Haiti and was doing bad stuff to people. They even said, hey, these Small Hat folks, that's not right. Like, what are you doing? Using pagers? It's like they're at a card game, right? And, somebody does an illegal trick and they're like, what? Come on, bro. Are you serious? What are you doing, bro? Come on, bro. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. Tap the screen, get the likes up, y'all. Share the room with at least 10 people, y'all. You're not going to hear this on CNN. We're paralleling everything we're reading here with Bible prophecy. So let's go back. Psalm chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the wicked, because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. So what kind of wicked devices? We just read it. Like cell phones, like pagers, right? These are some of the wicked devices, right? Cell phones, pagers. These are some of the wicked devices that was utilized. Walkie-talkies. Wait till you discover who invented it, y'all. You're gonna flip. Watch this. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. We're gonna parallel everything with the Bible. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. Share the room with at least 10 people, y'all. Isaiah 32, verse 7. And it says, the instruments, you got that right, Sapphire. Belgium is not innocent, exposing them as well. Exactly. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. God is talking about instruments. So don't let nobody deceive you to think that technology is not in the Bible. Science is mentioned in the Bible, y'all. Okay? Thank you for putting it in the chat. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises, meaning he formulates with his technology, wicked devices to destroy the poor, So first they destroy the poor, then they use their media with lying words, even when the needy speaks right. So our people, we are the needy. We are the ones that's poor. When God said, blessed are the poor in spirit, but also this is talking about the poor on the earth. These poor citizens that are lost in the source, that don't know nothing, their wicked devices is destroying the poor. Their technology is destroying the poor. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you understand this. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand this. Okay, put a 2 in the chat if you're just lost in the source. Because maybe somebody's confused. Maybe they don't understand that this is important information to cover. Okay. All right. We got ones in the building. All praises. Let's read it again. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaks right. So these liberal folks, the Bible says their instruments are evil. They formulate wicked devices to destroy the poor. So now, let's go to Wikipedia and let's investigate the wicked devices known as beepers, walkie-talkies, cell phones. Let's go to Wikipedia and we're going to touch on the beeper, the pager. All right, so watch this. Let's read right now on Wikipedia. It reads, the pager, also known as a beeper or bleeper, is a wireless telecommunications device that receives and displays alphanumeric or voice messages. One-way pagers can only receive messages, while respond pagers and two-way pagers can also acknowledge and reply to the original message used as an internal transmitter. So back in the day, for those that are aware, y'all know about those beepers, right? So now, the pager itself, right, operates as a part of a paging system. So now watch this. Pagers were developed in the 1950s and 1960s and became widely used by the 1980s, also as late as the 1990s and early 2000s. Later in the 21st century, the widespread availability of cell phones and smartphones with text messaging capabilities has greatly diminished the pager industry. Nevertheless, pagers continue to be used in emergency medical services, public safety personnel, and because modern pager systems coverage overlap, the combined with use of satellite communications can make pager systems more reliable than terrestrial-based cellular networks in some instances, including during natural and human-made disasters. Wow. Now watch this. When we go over the quick facts about the pager, we find out something interesting. We find out that the walkie-talkie, the pager, the first one was created by a man by the name of Irving Allen Gross. Irving Allen Gross. And its inception was 1949, which was approximately 75 plus years ago. Okay? So, 1949. What group of people went into that so-called Holy Land in 1948? So this was developed in 1949. Are there any ties to this Gross person named Al Gross? Are there any ties to this Al Gross person? Let's find out. Let's find out. So the inception was 1949. Al Gross was the inventor. Okay. So now we got to investigate this Al Gross person and see, does he have ties to these small hat folks? So let's go to Wikipedia and let's investigate this guy by the name of Al Gross. So I'm going to show it to you on the screen, y'all, so y'all can see it, that I'm not making this up. Okay, this is for educational purposes only, right? This guy right here, right? Let me turn off the filter so y'all can see it. This is the article right here, Irving Al Gross. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see it. Okay. This is his picture right here. Okay. Al Gross. All right. So let's get into his responsibility over this scenario and this situation. All right. So let's read. It says, Irving Al Gross was a pioneer in mobile technology, wireless communication. He created and patented many communication devices, including the relationship between the early version of the walkie-talkie, the Citizens Band radio, the telephone pager, and the cordless telephone. Now watch this. Biography. Gross was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada in 1918. The son of a Romanian Jewish immigrant. Boom. Drop the mic. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Stop the presses. So wait a minute. The same blue and white flag folks that used the pages and the walkie-talkies in Lebanon, the inventor, y'all, this is why when I researched this, my mind was blown. It was like the Most High was showing me, hey, look up the inventor, look up this law. I came up with this study today, y'all. And I'm amazed at the fact that this same inventor was a Romanian Jewish immigrant descendant. Now, he grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, in the United States. Y'all, this dude was an agent of the United States government. I'm telling you. Watch, let's read on. Let's go to quick facts. It says, born February 22nd, 1918, unalive 2000. He was an engineer. His discipline was wireless communication. That's all they put on there, right? Watch this, though. Let's read on in the article. It says, at 16, he earned his amateur radio license, and he called and used it call sign W8 PAL his whole life, the walkie-talkie. His interest and knowledge in radio technology had grown considerably by the time he, in 1936, entered the BSEE program at Cleveland's Case of Applied Sciences. He was determined to investigate the unexplored frequency region of the 10 megahertz. Now watch this. Between 1938 and 1941, soon after the invention of the walkie-talkie in 1937 by Donald Hinge, he created and patented his own version of the walkie-talkie. Watch this. World War II. During World War II, y'all remember the Small Hats was involved with WW2? Gross had some limited involvement in building two-way air-to-ground communication systems in the United States OSS, a forerunner to the CIA. Whoa, this is, y'all, this is getting heavy now. Let's put the connections together. So the inventor is a descendant of Small Hat, folks. He was involved in WW2 with using his technology, because remember, all technology has to go through the Defense Department before it even gets down to the citizens. All right, yeah, let's tap the screen. We should already be at 10,000 likes by now. Shalom, hope you're doing well. So a Jewish person invented the pager, the walkie-talkie, right? And was instrumental in this thing during WW2, y'all. And now we see that same technology being used today to go boom on people. Don't you think they already figured out how to do that back then? I bet you they did. Let's continue. It says, CIA for use of military operations known as the Joan Eleanor system. This is on Wikipedia. This is for educational purposes only. It says, it comprised a handheld SSTC 502 transceiver and a much larger aircraft-based SSTR6 transceiver, okay? All right, so let's jump down to Citizens Band Radio. It says CB radio or Citizens Band. How many of y'all know them truck drivers that use CB radio, right? After the war, FCC allocated the first frequencies for personal radio services. The Citizens Radio, also known as CB, formed Gross Electronics Company to produce two-way communication systems to utilize those frequencies. All right, now let's jump down to two-way radios. Cartoonist Chester Gould asked if he could use the concept in a miniature two-way radio in his Dick Tracy comic strip. The result was the Dick Tracy two-way radio, wrist radio. So this was the prelude to the smartwatch, y'all. It was called on that comic strip known as Dick Tracy. They had a two-way wrist radio system, y'all. That comic strip was years ago. Let's touch on telephone pager. Another breakthrough came in 1949 when he adapted his two-way radio for the telephone pager to one-way for cordless remote telephonic signaling. This was the advent of the telephone pager systems. He had effectively invented the first telephone pager system. His intention for this system was to be used by medical doctors, but was met with skepticism by doctors who were afraid the system would upset patients. This same technology is used in one-way radio signaling devices such as garage door openers, y'all. Imagine you use a garage door opener and the thing go boom. I'm telling y'all. Pay attention. This whole push for smart technology and smart homes and everything got to be connected to Wi-Fi, y'all. Don't trust it. The Bible says never trust your enemy. That's Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Don't trust them, folks. Their technology is not for your benefit because it started through military application. So the Small Hat folks invented the two-way pager, the telephone pager, for wicked devices? Wow. Lady is. In 1950, he tried in vain to the interest of the telephone companies in mobile telephony. Bell Telephone was uninterested, and other companies were afraid of Bell's monopoly on transmission lines. Al Gross, continued inventing and began working as a specialist in microwave and other communication systems for such companies as Sperry Corporation and General Electric. Wow. So y'all pay attention to these inventors who create these things and who they are and where they come from and who's their ancestry. So Alan Gross created the pager, the same pagers that were used in Lebanon. And he's a descendant of the Yiddish folks, the small hat folks, the SOS folks, the synagogue of Shaitan folks that the Bible talks, the wicked that the Bible talks about, y'all. Wow. This is amazing information, right? To find out that Gross was born in Canada, lived in the United States in Cleveland, Ohio, and was the son of a Romanian Jewish immigrant. Wow. And now those same folks are using that technology in the so-called Middle East, in Lebanon, right? So the 2024 Lebanon pager situation, now we see the inventor was the same folks that did that act. Let's go to Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Let's read that real quick. Let's go to the Bible. Wow. Y'all, this is why it's important to subscribe to the Forefront Radio before they take us offline. Our private Bible studies are on the Discord channel. Our subscribers get on there and you're able to get access to these private lessons. Sometimes we can't talk about this on the internet. Y'all, I can't tell you how many times they try to ban my live. Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust your enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be like you looked at like you wiped a looking glass, meaning a mirror. And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. So God makes a comparison between a rusty iron. Imagine you got a rusted car. No matter how many times you try to buff it, that car is going to be rusty. It's the same way with the wickedness of the children of Esau. It's the same way, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand this. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand this, y'all. If y'all lost in the source, put a 2 in the chat. All right, we got ones in the building. All right, let's read the scripture one more time. Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust your enemy, for like as iron rust, so is his wickedness. Remember, we read earlier in Malachi chapter 1, verse 1 through 4, that Esau was the border of wickedness. You see? So now we know who that's talking about. Watch this, verse 12. Set him not by you, lest when he overthrow you, he stand up in your place. This is how now people are deceived to think that European people are the real chosen people of God, when in reality, our ancestors taught them Afro-Hebraic religion, and they turned around and called it Judaism, Talmudism. They did all type of stuff after they were taught our religion during John Hyrcanus and during the time of the Khazarian Empire and the Ukrainian conversion and the Germanic conversion, right? They would spend 6 hours per day convincing European people from Poland, Ukraine, Russia, Germany to convert to a religion. They were not the original bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because when you read the Bible, it says, my skin is black upon me. Job chapter 30, verse 30. I am black but comely. Song of Solomon 1 verse 5 and 6. These scriptures show you that the original Hebrews were melanated people, y'all. Melanated people. So now let's look at Wikipedia and let's examine mobile devices. Let's examine mobile phones now. Now that we have an understanding of the pager and the inventor of the pager, let's now look at mobile phones, mobile devices. We looked at Alan Gross already. Let's look at mobile devices. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Wikipedia and let's investigate mobile devices, mobile phones on Wikipedia. All right, let's pull it up. Give me 1 second. Let me, y'all do me a favor, y'all tap the screen, share the room with at least 10 people, y'all. If this is some good information, let me get some ones in the building. Y'all tap the screen. All right, we got ones. All praises to the Most High. All praises. So I'm assuming the audio is clear and everything is working well. All right. Take a moment also to follow the account. If you're new to the Forefront Radio, please follow this account and also follow my backup channel, which is the Forefront Radio 2.0 on TikTok, on YouTube, and other social media platforms. Okay. Please be sure to do that, because the Bible says you're going to know the truth and the truth will make you free. So here's the Wikipedia article on the mobile phone. The mobile phone or cell phone is a portable cell phone that can make and receive calls over a radio frequency. Watch this. It says link while the user is moving with the telephone service area, within a telephone service area, as opposed to a fixed location telephone like a landline phone. The radio frequency link establishes a connection to the switching systems of the mobile phone operator, which provides access to the public switch telephone network. Modern telephone services use a cellular network architecture, and therefore mobile telephones are called cell phones. In North America, in addition, telephony, digital mobile phones support a variety of other services, such as text messaging, such as what? Multimedia messaging, that's your picture messages, such as what? Email, such as internet access, such as LTE, 5G, NR, or Wi-Fi. Short-range wireless communication, such as infrared, Bluetooth, satellite access, navigation, messaging connectivity, business applications, payment systems, also known as NFC, multimedia playback, and streaming radio, television, streaming digital photography, and video games. Mobile phones offering only basic capabilities were known back then as dumb phones, but now with the advancement of computing technology, they're now referred to as smartphones. Watch this. The first handheld mobile phone was demonstrated by, listen to the name, Martin Cooper. Martin Cooper of Motorola. Shalom to you. Hope you're doing well. Shalom to you. Of Motorola in New York City. So where was the cell phone invented? By Martin Cooper of New York City around April 1973. Okay, so now that we have the foundation, the person that invented it was called who? Martin Cooper. That's the guy that invented it, y'all. Y'all with me so far? Okay, put a 1 in the chat if y'all got that. So Martin Cooper was the one that invented this device in what year? 1973. So now let's investigate Martin Cooper and let's see, does he have ties to the small hat people? Watch, I told y'all, when y'all go on this live, y'all mind gonna be blown. Okay, just to show you who this individual is, so y'all know I'm not making this up. This is the guy right here. Okay, Martin Cooper. Can everybody see his photograph? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see him. Martin Cooper. All right, can everybody see that? Can everybody see that? Let's get some ones in the building if everybody can see that. All praises. This is an Edomite. Okay, Esau in the building. All right, let's read the article. Martin Cooper, born December 26, 1928, is an American engineer. He is a pioneer in the wireless communication industry, especially in radio spectrum management, with the 11 patents in the field. So now let's go to quick facts about him. Martin Cooper, born in Chicago. His other name is Marty Cooper. You know, a lot of times these folks like to change their names around, right? His education was the Illinois Institute of Technology. He has a BS and an MS. He was an inventor, entrepreneur, and executive. He's the inventor of the first handheld cellular mobile phone. Okay? He is the owner of the title of the Motorola company. So this man started the Motorola. Y'all remember those Razor phones that everybody was giving all the hoopla about back in the day? Thank you. Let's get that likes up let's get it to 10,000 likes, y'all. Tap the screen, get the likes up, y'all. Watch this. Motorola founder and Ericom founder. Okay. So he founded Ericom and he founded Motorola. Okay, so now let's jump down real quick to education. Watch this. Cooper was born in Chicago to Ukrainian Jewish immigrants. Wait a minute. Oh my. Drop the mic. Boom. This man, he was a descendant of the Yiddish folk. He was a descendant of the Ukrainians. Y'all, do you see how vast this information is? Y'all, give me a smiley face if you learn more information on the Forefront Radio than you ever learned in your entire time going into church. Give me a sad face. Y'all tap the screen. Come on, y'all. Give me a smiley face if you're learning more information on the Forefront Radio than you ever learned in the Christian church. Right? So God talks about how Esau is the wicked. Y'all just tap on that right there at the top right there. You see it right there, that smiley face? Let me get some smiley faces in the building. You understand? Because you're not going to hear this nowhere else but the Forefront Radio. You're going to have jokers that listen to my live, take the information, and go remake classes. All right? I'm telling y'all facts. There's other Israelite communities that watch my live, and they use my information, and they put it up. They got millions of people that watch them. I'm a little small guy, so I ain't nobody, but I give all praises to the Most High, because my information is for y'all. While other people will try to charge you, like TD Snakes, they'll charge you $150 to come sit in a meeting and get a private lesson. I do it for free. All I ask is a little bit of support to make sure I keep the lights on. That's it. You understand? Watch this. Cooper was born in Chicago to Ukrainian Yiddish immigrants. Wow. Watch this. He graduated from Illinois Institute of Technology in 1950 and served as a submarine officer during the Korean War. Wait a minute, y'all. All technology that's used has to get filtered through the military first, y'all. through the military first, y'all. So he was a submarine officer in the Ukrainian war. Wow. And he was the founder of, right, Motorola. His first job, right when he got out of the military, was in 1945, and he joined Motorola Company, right, as a senior development engineer. And then he developed products including the first cellular-like portable handheld police radio system produced for the Chicago Police Department in 1967. Wow. So the technology of the heathen is, God is telling us the truth when he says the devices of the churl, the instruments of the churl are evil. The wicked devices like the beepers, the walkie-talkies, the cell phones, these all come from the wicked. The Bible says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Wow. Wow. This is amazing information, y'all. This is amazing information. So that Lebanon situation where they were blowing up pages, walkie-talkies, cell phones, y'all, that shows you the start is with Esau and the end is with Esau. You got to expose the truth. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but guess what? The devil uses flesh and blood to create chaos on the earth, y'all. So now, I got a Smithsonian article on the same subject. Let's touch on this Smithsonian article. Let's touch on this Smithsonian article about this same relevant information. Okay, watch this, because we're touching on Martin Cooper, right? Okay, watch this. Let's go to smithsonian.magazine.org. They're going into the military necessity of the cell phone. Listen to this. Your cell phone, quote, your cell phone is a result of over 100 years of commercial and government investment in research and development in all of its components and related technologies. A significant portion, the cutting edge development, has been funded by the military. A major impetus for developing mobile wireless technologies was the need during World War II for the troops to communicate on the move in the field. The SRC 536 handy talkie was developed by the predecessor to the Motorola Corporation and used by the U.S. Army in war. Wow. So this same small hat person that helped develop the Motorola Corporation, who was involved in both the Korean War, the predecessor to the Motorola Company, created that situation where they had the handy talkie, the two-way radio, which led to the modern day cell phone. It was a military investment in technology, which became a game changer in commercial products and services. And this has repeated over and over and over again. So guess what? The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency developed the technologies behind the internet and speech recognition, right? They also developed investments in communication algorithms, processing technology, electronics miniaturization, and many other aspects of our cell phones. You see that? Let's read that let's read that in the book of Ephesians real quick. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but, that means when you say but, that means something after what you just said. So we don't really fight against flesh and blood, but you got flesh and blood that's in power today. We fight against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against Spiritual wickedness in high places. So the spiritual wickedness is what? The rulers of darkness. That's going into what? Governmental structures, religious structures, nation states, corporations, merchants, right? That's going into what? Presidents, prime ministers, dictators, despots, whether D or R, it doesn't matter, bro. Whether red or blue, it doesn't matter, bro. Whether Bloods or Crips, it doesn't matter, bro. It don't matter. So we just read that in the Smithsonian Magazine. Let's now go to the next article in regards to the You Wish Person of the Week. Let's go to the You Wish Person of the Week. Let's go to that article. Let's go to the You Wish Person of the Week. Wow. Watch this. The same individual that we covered, Martin Cooper, he's known as the You of the Week. Replace the letter J, You Wish of the Week. So the same inventor of the cell phone, the same inventor of the pager that was used in Lebanon was a descendant of the Revelation chapter 2 verse 9 people and the Revelation chapter 3 verse 9 people. SOS. The border of Esau, the border of wickedness. The same one that created wicked devices according to the scriptures we read earlier. Right? Watch this. Inventing the cell phone. Though many people were involved in the production of the cell phone, credit is given to Martin Cooper, nicknamed the father of the cell phone, who made the first cellular phone call in New York on 1973. Cooper was the executive of Motorola and placed the first ever cell phone call to his major competitor, Joel S. Engel, a fellow You Wish person who was also working on cell phone technology. Y'all, this is crazy. This is amazing. Watch this. It says, Engel participated in the Apollo space program and worked at AT&T before becoming the research head at Bell Labs, where he had previously co-led the team that developed the architecture of the cellular network and its parameterization. Meanwhile, Martin Cooper, born in Chicago to Ukrainian Jewish immigrants, besides the cell phone, he had many more contributions to the radio and communication technology, including what is called Cooper's Law. Wow. He went on to become the vice president and the corporate director of Motorola, which opened its first branch outside of the United States in Israel. Boom. Drop the mic. Drop the mic. Drop the mic, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. Drop the mic. Y'all, donate to the Forefront Radio, y'all. Donate to if you haven't subscribe to the Forefront Radio. Let's get it, y'all. Look at this thing, man. I'm telling you. When you research the Bible, a vast amount of wisdom and knowledge gets revealed to you. A vast amount of wisdom and knowledge gets revealed to you. You understand? The Bible says you're going to know the truth, and the truth is going to make you free. We need freedom, y'all. And the only way we can get freedom is to parallel the Bible prophecy with what we're reading. So we just read that a Yiddish person, a descendant of Ukrainian Jewish immigrants, invented a cell phone, right? We read another Jewish person, right? So the first one was Martin Cooper. The other one was what was his name again? Irving Al Gross, right? And he invented the pager, the same pager that was used last month to go kablooey to these people in Lebanon. And we just read in Isaiah chapter 32 verse 7 about the instruments of the churl are evil and the wicked devices, like what? The beepers, the walkie-talkie, right? We just read to rest in the Lord according to Psalms 37 verse 7. Don't fret yourself over the wicked devices like the cell phones, the pages, right? We show you that modern society has now set a precedent to use modern technology as a military asset towards the general public. It happened in Lebanon last month. So this smartphone technology, the smart house technology, garage door openers, two-way radios, CBs, walkie-talkies, y'all better pay attention, y'all. If they could use it in the so-called Middle East, it lays a precedent where it can land on the doorstep of Western civilization. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand that. Put a 2 in the chat if you're lost in the source. That was a quick recap of what we covered so far. So now that we understand that this man is the founder of Motorola, let's go to the Wikipedia article on the Motorola Corporation. Let's go to it. So this man was a descendant of Ukrainians. Wow. Yiddish people. Wow. And he helped develop the Motorola Corporation. So let's go to it. Just so y'all know we ain't making it up. Where's the far off will come in Babylon? Yeah. They're going to picture it right here. Let me show you Motorola Corporation right here. All right. Here's what it looks like. Y'all tap the screen. Y'all see. Y'all let me know if y'all see it. Give me a 1 so we know that y'all see it. Give me a 1 in the chat so I know y'all see it. All right. We got ones. All praises. All praises. All right. So that's Motorola Corporation right there. All right, we got ones in the building. Share the room with at least 10 people, y'all. All right, share the room with at least 10 people. So let's read the article. It says, Motorola Inc. was an American multinational telecommunications company based in Illinois. It was founded in 1928 as Galvin Manufacturing Corporation by brothers Paul and Joseph Galvin. The company changed its name to Motorola in 1947. 1947. Y'all, we're getting these same kind of dates. 1947, 1948. The same time, y'all. These inventors of evil things, y'all, are happening. It's right during and after WW2. This is not a coincidence, y'all, that they formulated. I can almost guarantee you that these were shell companies made by the United States. Because we just read the article. On Smithsonian, how modern day cell phones were 100 years in advance and developed through military. We just read it. Okay, so these corporations that's out here, many of them are shell corporations based on the United States military, and their quote unquote inventors went and said, okay, let's make some money off of it now. Let's change it from the military sector to now the private sector. Okay, so that situation that happened in Lebanon and Syria, it's not far-fetched now for us to understand why they used pagers, walkie-talkies, cell phones, and went kablooey. You understand? All right. So the industry is telecommunications. Their former manufacturing corporation was known as Galvin. Okay, established between 1928 and 1947. It split into Motorola Mobility. Okay, the company went defunct in 2011. Okay, they were producing products such as tablet computers, mobile phones, smartphones, two-way radios, networking systems, cable television systems, wireless broadband networks, RFID systems. That's another technology to look at, y'all. And mobile telephone infrastructure. They were responsible over 53,000 employees as of 2010. They had divisions of mobile devices, home and network mobility, and enterprise mobile solutions. Okay, from there, let's go now to the next article, which is the first mobile phones. Let's touch on that real quick. This was on Smithsonian. Let's jump now to the top of the article, and I want to show y'all this picture real quick. Let me see if I could close this ad here. Okay, here we go. All right, can y'all see this thing right here? Hold on. All right, can y'all see this? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see this. It says the first mobile phone, call was made 75 years ago. Y'all see that? Look at this Edomite sitting in the car, making a phone call. Y'all see that? Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. All right. It says, I have a cell phone built into my watch. People now take this type of technology for granted, but not so long ago, it was firmly in the realm of science fiction. The transition from fantasy to reality was far from the flip of a switch. The amount of time, money, talent, and effort required to put a telephone on my wrist spanned far beyond one product development cycle. Y'all understand that? Okay. Hold on a second. This thing's trying to spam. At face value, there's not much to it. Why did it just... small rectangle made of wood or cardboard. Sorry about that. 26 letters. 10. Sorry about that. Y'all see technology sometimes glitches on us. Sorry about that. All right, let's continue. Y'all, is the audio working clear, y'all? Put a 2 in the chat if the audio is working clear for me, please. All right, let's continue. It says, the first mobile phone service for 80-pound cell phones or telephones installed in cars were demonstrated around 1946, 75 years ago. The service was only available in major cities and highway corridors and was aimed at companies rather than individuals. The equipment filled much of the car's trunk. Subscribers made calls by picking up the handset and speaking to a switchboard operator. By 1948, the service had 5,000 customers. Okay? So, let's jump down now to military necessity and let's read that again. Your cell phone is a result of 100 years of commercial government investment in research and development in all of its components and related to technologies. A significant portion of the cutting-edge development has been funded by the military. A major impetus for developing mobile wireless technologies was the need during World War II for troops to communicate on the move in the field. The SRC 536 handle talkie was developed by the predecessor to the Motorola Corporation and used by the United States Army in war. So y'all see how this information is relevant, y'all? Imagine you hanging out with your family, heading to work, driving to school, and how 2,800 individuals, close to 7,000 individuals were injured. This was their 9/11. This was Lebanon's 9/11. So now, with all of that information we covered, are there prophecies in the Bible related to Lebanon? Let's find out. So I thank you for your patience. Now we're going to get into some scriptures. Watch this. Look, let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. Let's start at verse 14. 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 15, we went over all that information just to show you this is Bible prophecy. Watch this. 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, we're going to start at verse 14. Okay? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword, meaning war, and their destruction draws nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. This is going into what? Military armaments, like we're reading about in what happened in Lebanon and Syria with the small hats. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning they're not going to care about their prime ministers and presidents. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So imagine you're living in Lebanon and you can't leave. You're living in Syria, you can't leave. You're living in Gaza and you can't leave. Imagine you're living in New York City and the same stuff going on in the Middle East lands in the front door of the White House and you can't leave. Pay attention to these events, y'all. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, that's going into war, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Now listen to this. Verse 20, behold, saith God, I will call all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus. Libanus is Lebanon, y'all. Wow. Libanus is Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Meaning what? The enslavement in the Middle East that happened to so-called black folks, the slavery in the Red Sea, the East African slave trade, the Sub-Saharan slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, the Indian Ocean slave trade, slavery by the Persians, Ottoman Turks, Arabs, slavery by the Romans, the Greeks, the Macedonians, and the Yiddish folks. God says, I'm paying them back for what they did to you. Y'all understand that? Put a 2 in the chat if y'all understand that. Tap the screen, get the likes up, y'all. Share the room with at least 10 people. Y'all, if you haven't donated to the Forefront Radio, the Cash App is APHIELLEVI. Even if it's $20, even if it's $50, even if it's $1, your efforts go a long way to helping us spread this truth, y'all. Support independent media from an Afro-Hebraic perspective. Watch this. It says, verse 21. This is the proof now that it's talking about our people. It says, like as they yet this day, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen. Do you see black and brown people getting disrespected, unalived in the streets? Right? Yes. It says, like as they yet do this day, to this day, unto my chosen, so will I do also and recompense in their bosom. Meaning God gonna put it back to their chest. Reward them according to their own works. Watch this. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. Did they do that in Lebanon? Yup. Syria? Yup. Yemen? Yup. Africa? Yup. The Most High says he's not going to spare, because innocent blood is on the earth, y'all. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. That's an indictment to Christianity, because you got folks like John Hagee, who's a Christian, who supports the small hat folks with the blue and white flag, Revelation 2:9. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of those that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9, right? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not the descendants of the Romans, where and who is the wicked? Woe to them that sin. What is sin? Breaking God's law. And keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. So the Christian church teaching not to keep the commandments, woe to them. That's what the Bible says. So if they want to argue and fight, okay, good luck. It's okay. Your arm's too short to box with God. Verse 25, I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knows all them that sin against him, and therefore delivers he them unto deletion and destruction. For now are the plagues, come upon the whole earth, and you shall remain in them, for God shall not deliver you, because you have sinned against him. This for these dummies talking about, there's a rapture coming around. Ain't no rapture, baby. You're going to be delivered in the last days when Christ comes down on the earth, but ain't no rapture where you're getting sucked up into heaven. No. When you go up and you get resurrected, you're going to get an immortal body, and Christ's kingdom is going to come down on the earth. That's what's going to happen, y'all. Watch this. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, That's Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Turkey, right? United Arab Emirates, Oman, Yemen, right? All of these jokers, right? That took over the regions of the black Shemites, right? God says, these nations, plural, shall come out with many chariots. That's war vessels. And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. That's going into the four winds spreading through chaos. This is talking about WW3, y'all. Also the Carmanians, that's the Iranians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as a wild boar of the wood. You know what a wild boar is? That's one of those huge pigs that got those tusks on their face. You could shoot an arrow at them and they still gonna run at you. You could hit them with a whole bunch of pew pew. They still gonna fight you. And that's how angry they are with this so-called Middle East conflict, y'all. Okay, it says, like the wild boars of the wool, how wild? They're gonna strap C4 to themselves and go kablooey. It says, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Y'all see that? Let's jump down to verse 43. This is this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 42 and 43. It says, and they shall break down the cities and walls and mountains and hills and trees and wood and grass and meadows and their corn. What has the power to do that? Watch this, verse 41, fire and hail and flying swords. Can a sword fly in the sky, y'all? No, it cannot. So what is the defense technology that flies in the sky? ICBMs, right? Sarmats that can send these things, those flying swords that are impacting many people, many waters, and all fields may be full and rivers with the abundance of great waters, all of them are going to be annihilated. It says, and they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills. Flying swords are not going into swords being thrown in the air. That's missiles. From there, notice this conflict is impacting Libanus, that's Lebanon, Gaza, right? Yemen, Syria, the United States, the UK, Korea is being involved now. Russia is being involved now. NATO is doing military drills to practice if they got to retaliate to Russia. God says the prophecy in the Bible that Lebanon is going to burn. And I'm gonna prove it. Let's go to the book of Judges, chapter 9, verse 15. So now there was a prophecy made by a prophet in the Bible in regards to a rebellion that took place amongst the Israelites. And one of the prophets forewarned that Lebanon would burn. Judges chapter 9, verse 15. It says, and the bramble said unto the trees, if in truth you anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon. So now initially people read this and this thinking about just the prophecy dealing with Abimelech and all of these betrayers, right, in this story. Right? But when you dig deeper, this is prophecy showing Lebanon will burn. Y'all, we just read it earlier today with the Hezbollah conflict and the Small Hat conflict. What happened? What did you see happen? Fires all over the place. Wow. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 16. Write it in the chat, y'all. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 16. Y'all, we bringing it out and they not going to bring it out, y'all. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 16. Does the Bible say that there's going to be destruction in Lebanon? Let's find out. There's Israelite communities that hear the Forefront Radio and they bring it out in their classes. I'm telling you. I'm not going to name no names, but you got prominent Israelite teachers that listen to my live and they bring out my content on their lives. 4 or 5 classes that I've done on this platform, they take back and they produce it on YouTube. I know it for a fact. Watch this. Isaiah chapter, and I give all praises to the Most High. No credit goes to me. It goes to the Creator. That's it. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 16. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn. Wait a minute. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. You see that? All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity, meaning negative. Negative. God says these nation states, besides our people, outside of our people that are the chosen, the holy, the elect, the righteous, all these other nations, God says they're negative nothing. Negative nothing. Hit the negative button and go to the infinity. He says Lebanon is not sufficient to burn. Is this saying Lebanon going to be on fire? Yes or no? Write Y for yes. Write N if you're confused. Write it in the chat. Let's go. Write Y for yes. Write N if you're lost in the source. Y'all see that? So this is why I set this live for adults only, because children wouldn't be able to handle this. This live in particular is for 18 and older. Okay, watch this. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 23. Jeremiah, because the sensitive nature of this topic, I had to make sure that all the scoffers kept from coming in here. So I rigged the live where it be 18 and older, and those that are subscribers and followers to my account, they'll see the notification. Hey, do me a favor, y'all. If you haven't subscribed to the Forefront Radio, hit the top icon next to the Forefront Radio at the top left. Click on notifications and make sure you select all notifications, because I'm getting reports that you're not getting my lives sent to your phones. So make sure you hit notifications and that you select all. So whenever we go live, it goes right to your phone. Okay. Jeremiah 22, verse 23. Let's read that. And it says, O inhabitant of Lebanon, that makes your nest in the cedars, how gracious shall you be when pangs come upon you. The pain as a woman in travail, meaning what? The type of conflict that's going to occur is going to increase more and more, like a woman having contractions. Y'all women better respect your husbands for giving you babies. You better respect that thing, because a lot of times you don't remember that Eve sinned against her husband, and that's how she got pain during childbirth. All right, let's go back. Let's go to another precept. Let's go to Habakuk chapter 2. Nope. Let's go to Zechariah. Now this right here is the heavy hitter, y'all. This right here, if you don't remember any other scripture, you better remember this one right here. Listen close. Listen. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 1 to 3. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 1 to 3. This right here is the magnifico. This, if you're ever confused whether there's prophecy about Lebanon, this right here is the heavy hitter. Open your doors, O Lebanon, O Lebanon, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour your cedars. Howl, fir tree, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. That's going into military, y'all. Howl, O ye oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, that's going into the leaders, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of roaring of young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. Showing you that conflict is going to transfer from Gaza to Jordan, to Yemen, to Lebanon, to Syria, Damascus, to the land of the Ammonites, to Turkey, to all. Listen, it's going to spread like wildfire, y'all. This so-called Middle East conflict, y'all think they're going to end it? Hell nah. All of these nations invest in time, energy, money. It's not going to end, y'all. It's going to escalate. Y'all, all praises to the Most High. Their annihilation is our salvation, straight up. Just like in ancient Egypt, some folks just had to go. It is what it is. Let's go to Habakuk chapter 2, verse 17. This is why it's important to read the Old Testament. These Christian pastors, they will not read these texts. And if they do, they're going to misinterpret it. Watch this. If you're confused on any other scripture, this right here is the nail in the proverbial coffin, y'all. Watch this. Habakuk chapter 2, verse 17. Habakuk chapter 2, verse 17. And it reads, "For the violence of Lebanon shall cover you." You hear what the Bible says? "And the spoil of beasts, which made them afraid because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein." Boom. Drop the mic. Thank you for listening to the Forefront Radio, y'all. This is Lebanon in prophecy and technology. Donate to the Forefront Radio, support independent media. Cash App, $APHIELLEVI. If you missed any part of this episode, subscribe to the Forefront Radio. You'll have access to our Discord channel where we repost the lives after it airs, and you'll get a direct notification. Also, we're available on YouTube, the Forefront Radio 2.0 and the Forefront Radio 1. Your support for independent media helps us spread the truth all throughout our Afro diaspora communities. We appreciate you all listening. I hope this was rewarding for you all. And with that, we say peace to the 12 tribes of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The reason why God is allowing this to happen to you is for you to wake up and see the truth that this Bible is a true book. My Bible came alive. All praises. With that, we say peace to the 12.